another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy, and we're behind the scenes right now before my first Facebook auction. A little bit worried because I'm not very good on Facebook, but I was able to handle Whatnot. In fact, we've got right down there the comics for an upcoming Whatnot auction. We have right over here behind us, we move the camera that way, we've got a bunch of stuff over there for a Whatnot ephemera auction. We've got unlisted comics. We've got things that I got to be sorting through to be getting on sometime soon. However, we have made some changes since the Whatnot. I have a new stand. I got sick of turning the power off before every Whatnot and only being able to see like this much of the screen. Hopefully this ends up working out a lot better. We shall see. We're also up a little bit higher with this, so we should be able to put more things out. Now what we have today we have 30 items, all cataloged, all in order over there and then off here on the side. A lot of books, things like that are what we have. I've got my little spiel that I will be reading prior to the auction. You know, all the legalese and all that fun stuff, telling people how to pay me, what the shipping is, and that sort of thing. And I also, just because I find it makes things a lot easier, and I know a lot of people do not do this, I've actually got it cataloged. I've got the auction cataloged, and if you look over here, I've got it in order, which it also is in order down there, so I can pull things right up in order. But then I've also made a little note there to make a note of who the winner is and the price. So that way when things get done, I don't have to worry about post-its, losing post-its, putting things in the wrong pile, or anything at all like that. I can look and say, oh, Bob won lots 1, 7, 14, and I've got it all right over here. It should make things be a lot simpler for me. A couple of other quick little things if you're going to hold these auctions. A pen, definitely need one of those. But I also got a ruler because I've seen any number of times where people will have something up and they'll want to know what the size of it is. And rather than running back and forth, I found an extra ruler and decided I want to keep that out here as well. So we're going to be prepared. That being said, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things that I'm not used to, won't be able to deal with, won't handle. I'll be like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Wanted to start off small with 30 lots, just because when I'm on Whatnot, 30 lots, well, 40 lots take about an hour. This is a much slower pace, although I'm going to be hitting the hammer down pretty quickly on things. I'm not going to belabor the point. I've been at some Facebook auctions where they take 15 minutes to get one extra bid, if even that much. That's great. I'm not going to be doing that kind of thing. Going to try to make it fun for people, but try to get things moving along as well. If nobody's bidding, nobody's bidding. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I'd be happy if 10 people showed up, and I would be happy if 10 of those 30 items sold. That being said, I know that all 30 of these items would sell for the proper person on Facebook, because I've been going to Facebook auctions for a couple of years now, and these are all things that would sell. I may not get the crowd tonight, in which case we'll put it away and I'll pull it out 6 months from now, a year from now, something rather like that, and we'll try to have it go again. So wish me luck. We're backstage. We're just about ready to get started. We're going to do a little bit of setup, and I will visit you after the auction to tell you how it all went. All right, so the auction is over. Went smoothly. Surprised me because, well, mostly smoothly. I started the auction, and I went to go and move something or other here, and I hit this and knocked over the tripod. So everybody went for a nice little ride. Luckily, I was able to catch shit before the phone got damaged. Other than that, went pretty well. Out of the 30 lots, 17 sold, so I'm happy with that. That's more than 50%. Cannot argue with that. One buyer bought a bunch of stuff, and a couple of people bought other lots of stuff, so I think I sold to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different buyers. So I think the most I had was I think 12 or 13 people in there, so that's about the number I thought were in there, but people were buying. Hopefully they were getting good buys. Have them come back. Got a lot of stuff to move to them in the future, so definitely do come on by. It's the Vintage Syndicate and Ephemera group over on Facebook. You'll find a link. I'll provide a link to everybody so that way they'll be able to come over very easily and bid. Gave out a lot of good deals. I had good low starting bids on everything because, again, I want to move the stuff and I'm into it right, and it's stuff that I'm never going to list. Somebody bought these linens over here. I don't know the first thing about linens. I just happened to pick it up at a sale. because I'd picked something else that came with it that I wanted. So I basically got almost my price out of the whole thing that I bought and got the item that I wanted. So I'm happy with that. Pass that along to somebody else. They'll do well on it as well. So hey, good for them. So overall, very, very happy. If you're going to do an auction, the one thing that I do on both the Whatnot and I did here on the Facebook that seems to work very, very well, but it really only works if you're doing a cataloged auction, is I do what's called last call. And what that is when I'm done with this, everything I have up for auction, whether this happened to be 30 items and it took an hour and a half, the Whatnots, I have 40 items up. When I'm all done, before I sign off, I say it's last call. Go back through it. In this auction, I happened to read everything that hadn't had bids on, and somebody that had come in late had missed a couple of items, so I brought them back up for them. So, that added some extra sales to it at the end because people were bidding on stuff. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, bring that up. So that worked out pretty well on that over there. So if you are running auctions and they are cataloged and everything doesn't sell, do bring up the last call. It will add some extra sales. So do hit the like button. You also want to do that. But a lot of fun. I will be selling, again, I sell Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll be selling on Whatnot, and on Mondays I will be selling on Facebook, 4 o'clock Eastern on all of them, just because that's the easiest time for me. And we will see you next video. Papergoy here. All right, I fibbed. I will see you next video. That part I didn't fib about, but I thought I was done shooting, but then I spent all night thinking about the auction, all in a positive way. And I also wanted to do a little bit of a costume change here, like Cardi B at the Grammys. And I was just thinking about the auction, and I know I've got 90 weeks left when you watch this for the day job, but I kind of wish that I were done with it because I'd love to put together things. I'd love to be continuing to do these auctions even more often than I am now. But I guess what I'm telling you, and the reason for this video over here, this last part of the video, is give it a try. If you've ever thought about doing it, I always held myself back for a lot of different reasons, primarily all technical reasons. I said, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do any of this whatsoever. It can be overcome. You can definitely do it, the technical aspect of it, and I definitely think that you should do so. As far as that goes, just all you really need are a phone and internet connection and things to sell. And if you're watching this, you have all three. Find a group that you're comfortable with, set up a time, and give it a try. And gives you kind of a rush. I'm lucky that I have been in the Facebook group that I'm selling at for a while, so I did know a lot of the people going by. I've seen them before in chats, etc. So they're almost like friends and family as well. So join a group and get in, attend the auctions, watch what people do. That's yet another thing that I would suggest doing. Now, Whatnot, I just kind of threw myself into and just kind of did it the way that I'm going to do it. Doing the same thing on Facebook, because I'm not copying anybody. I do it the way that I do it. However, I've seen enough auctions over there to kind of have an idea what does not work. And so I want to avoid those. One thing that I definitely have is I have a fast hammer. I put it up, and I end the auctions very, very quickly. Other people at their auctions let them linger on and on and on. I'm busy, you're busy, so I don't do that. That's a personal preference of mine. I mean, I could sit there and talk the item up for another 5 minutes and maybe make another couple of bucks off of it. I'd rather just move on to the next item because, again, I've got plenty to do. That's my personal preference. I would suggest a cataloged auction, though. I do find that so much easier to do that. One thing that I learned that I'm going to do next time, especially because of when I bring things up last call, is I'm going to put a column where I write down what my starting bid is. That way when I bring it back, because in the last call I'm like, I think the starting bid on this was $3. I did not remember what my starting bids were. I'll have it written down, make that a lot easier. And that's where you live and learn, and you do things the way that work best for you. Works really, really well for me doing it the way that I'm doing it. Other people that aren't as organized may not want to do it that way. Other people may not want to do it that way because they want the flexibility to bring up, hey, these things are selling really well, I'll keep bringing these up. These aren't selling, I'll change what goes, whereas I'm kind of committed to what it is I'm bringing up. Other people also come in and out of auctions at times and say, hey, I'm interested in this, but I have to go in order to do such and such. Can you bring this up now? Luckily, my auctions are fast enough and cataloged that I say, no, I'm sorry, I cannot. However, I will get to it very quickly because I close my auctions very, very fast. So I guess much like eBay, there is no right way. There are a lot of wrong ways to do it. There are a lot of wrong ways to do the auctions. There are a lot of wrong ways to do eBay, but there is no right way to do it. But take the chance. Go out on a limb and try something new that you haven't tried before. I find myself loving these. I think they're awesome. And one final thing that I definitely have learned, and it's so true in so many different things, but consistency. I'm going to be holding an auction every Monday, and of course the calendar makes me a liar because next Monday is July 4th, and I will not be holding one on July 4th. But generally, every Monday except major holidays or if I'm out of town, I'm going to be holding one. Diddle the Tuesday and Thursday auctions. You know, occasionally, like I'll be going to Madison Bachville, I'll be out of town. I'm not going to hold an auction that day. But I'd say 48 out of the 52 weeks, I'm planning on having a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday auctions. I think that consistency is what is needed because people will say, oh, it's 4 o'clock on a Monday, I want to. So find a time that works for you and give it a try. Comment down below, by all means, leave a link. More than willing to help all of you out because you've all helped us out. Definitely do appreciate it. We'll all stop by and help you and give you a little bit of moral support. And hopefully do hit the like button, which I already told you to do half an hour ago. But do take chances in life. I guess that's what I say. Too many of us get totally into our comfort zones, and we don't know what we possibly are missing. And don't worry, I will be yelling this at Mr. Magazine as well. So we will see you next video, this time for real.